Awesome. We're about to get started. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. Yes. So my name is Sophia Altuna, and I work with Google for Entrepreneurs. I just wanted to kick off the day by saying how excited I am that this is the third year that we're hosting C4Q's Demo Day. Round of applause. We have a deep and long-standing relationship with C4Q, and it's been exciting to see that this year we've had Android developers teach some of their classes. We've had Googlers mentor the fellows throughout the course of the program leading up to today. And then we have Jason in our panel, who will get a proper introduction in a minute. But I got involved 3 years ago when I first came to this event, and immediately after I looked up who I needed to contact to get involved, which I think is just a testament to C4Q mission and how a lot of us are personally invested in it. So with that, I wanted to say good luck to the fellas. We're so excited to see what you have in store with us tonight. And then to everyone else, please enjoy your evening, and thanks again for coming. And with that, I'll pass it on to Jeff.
Thanks, Sophia. My name's Jeff Rayner, and I wanted to extend a welcome as well. I work at Facebook New York, and we've been a proud and happy sponsor of Coalition for Queens for the past few years. And I just wanted to say a few words about why, and then I will hand it off to Juke for an overview of C4Q. So we're excited to support C4Q in a couple different ways, financially, through providing space for events when we can. Thanks to Google, this is a great space, and we are delighted to be here and to see, in my case, a second demo day. This is my second consecutive year of being involved. But we also support C4Q through helping to set the curriculum, through board participation, and events like this. And the reason we do is, well, there's a long list of them, frankly, but just a couple to highlight are that, first of all, Facebook's mission is to help build community and bring people closer together. And when I've gone to the classroom and seen the groups working on projects and learning, it's just been clear that that classroom has brought people together and developed a sense of community. And I'm sure you'll even see it tonight, both as people congratulate each other after presentations and at the reception afterwards. So building community is one thing, but I think the other is that we have a vision for Facebook New York in particular of being a place that has a workforce that's as diverse as New York City is as a whole. New York is an amazingly diverse place on just a number of dimensions, and we struggle in tech to get people from all walks of life and all backgrounds into the pool of talent that we recruit from. And it's through programs like Coalition for Queens that we expect to see over time that it's possible to realize that vision and have people from all manner of backgrounds, economically, geographically, in terms of ethnic groups, and every other dimension represented. And this is important for a lot of reasons, not just because it's the right thing to do and because we want to see people from all sorts of backgrounds have the same kinds of economic opportunities that tech affords, but really because tech in general is trying to build products and solve problems for people from all walks of life. And the best way we know to do that is to have representation from all the groups for whom we're building products. And without organizations like this one, it would continue to be really, really, really hard to build great products because we can't find the people from all of these backgrounds. So thanks to Coalition for Queens for all the great work that you guys do, and good luck everyone tonight on the presentations. I'm looking forward to seeing all of them. I know everyone else is, so with that, I will turn it over to Juke to kick things off.
Great. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you again to Sophia and Google for hosting us, and to Jeff and Facebook for being sponsors. I'm Juke Su. I'm the founder and CEO of C4Q. Really want to welcome you all to attend tonight for our demo day for our web cohort. Let's give them a round of applause. And I just want to take a moment and give a big thank you to our sponsors for our demo day. We have Facebook, we have Venmo, PayPal, and also Google. Tonight and all the capstone project demos wouldn't be really possible without them. So thank you all for our sponsors. And before we get started, just want to share with you a little bit about why we're here tonight. Jeff, I think, spoke very well to it, but our mission is really simple. we believe that people from every community and background should have the opportunity to learn to code, get a great job in technology, but also create the products and companies of the future. We hope some of the products that you'll see tonight will become those. And we identify individuals with the most need and also the most opportunity and help instill them with the tools that they can have to transform themselves into the leaders of tomorrow. Now, technology has created so much wealth and so much opportunity, but at the same time, it's also exacerbated great inequality. It's now the second largest sector here in New York City and continues to grow, and creates so many great jobs, meaningful jobs. But at the same time, nearly half of New Yorkers are at or below the poverty line. We want to create opportunities to transform individuals, families, and communities. And we believe there's talent from all backgrounds. So we work to identify the most talented individuals, our fellows, so that they can gain the skills and realize their own potential. We're really proud that our program represents the diversity here in New York, gender balance, representing people of color, and also serving the 65% of New Yorkers without a college education. This is really important to us because we know technology enables people and creates economic opportunity. We've seen that measurably and demonstrated through our program, with our graduates going from on average earning $18,000 to $85,000 a year. And also, they're creating products and becoming new leaders that are representative of our society. And graduates from our previous cohorts have launched their careers. They've gone from all different backgrounds, whether working in retail or other kind of positions, to writing code and working at some of the leading companies, not only here in New York, but across the country. They really represent the potential of not only New York City, but I think the latent talent that exists within our broader community. And our community continues to grow. Tonight, you'll see one of 4 cohorts that is going through our program this year. And that means that in just a few months, more than 130 new developers will graduate incredibly talented and be part of New York City's tech community. Our alumni continue to give back after they graduate. They're working at companies, launching companies, creating meetups, and many of them have also come back to be volunteers, work as instructors. So we're really proud of our alumni. Thank you. Some of them are here tonight. Let's give our alumni and broader community a round of applause. And tonight you're going to see some of the products and that behind the developers that they've created. This wouldn't be possible without our funders and supporters. We're really fortunate to work with some of the best organizations across business, philanthropy, and technology, and they not only believe in this mission, but really are investing in each of the developers that you'll see here tonight, believing in their potential and what they can do in the future. So sincere thanks to our funders and supporters for supporting this program. Let's give them a round of applause. As part of tonight's event, we've asked an esteemed group of technology leaders to provide their real-world perspective and experiences to the developers that will be demoing. Our panelists will represent the audience in asking the teams questions after each demo, provide valuable feedback, and also give insight into the products that are being created. So let's meet tonight's panelists. We have Jeff Rayner, who you met earlier, but he's the engineering director at Facebook, and he leads marketing and sales products there, and also leads Facebook New York's efforts around community and also office culture. He advises lots of startups and also has a PhD in computer science. Thank you, Jeff. We also have Ari Shadadi, sorry about that, who's a senior vice president of business development at BuzzFeed. And prior to BuzzFeed, he was general counsel at Tumblr for 4.5 years, helping the organization grow and help them lead to their sale of over $1 billion to Yahoo. So let's welcome Ari as part of the panel. We have Andy Dunn, who's the co-founder and CEO of Bonobos, who's this amazing, obviously everyone's heard of it, menswear brand that really helped pioneer this digital revolution in menswear in 2007. In July of 2017, Bonobos was acquired by Walmart, and Andy now still continues to be CEO of Bonobos, but also is SVP of their digital consumer brands and helping lead transformation efforts there. Andy's also an angel investor, investing in over 82 companies, both personally and also through his seed venture capital firm, Red Swan Ventures. Thank you, Andy, and let's welcome Andy. We have Meredith Finn, who's the vice president at Salesforce, and she's focused there on leading impact and strategic investments for the company that complement Salesforce and their broader ecosystem. She's led over 40 strategic investments there, including great companies such as Elvest and Dell and Twilio. Thank you, Meredith. We have Jason, who's been a long-time supporter of C4Q, really lucky to have him involved in our work. And he's had over 20 years of experience helping businesses grow, launching products, and doing strategic development. He's currently the Google partner lead for VCs and startups in New York City and really does a lot to support the growth of our entrepreneurial ecosystem. Thank you, Jason. And last, we have Julie Somerville, who's a director of engineering at Blue Apron. And prior to Blue Apron, she was VP of engineering at Business Insider, where she helped lead a team of over 40 engineers. Thank you, Julie, for being here tonight. I'm really incredibly excited to have them all here. I know their perspective will be really valuable for the fellows that are demoing, and that they're really excited to hear the thoughts from our panelists. So thank you, panelists. And with that, I want to introduce Joanne Yoon, who is the head of our Access Code program. Thank you, Joanne. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, everyone. I realized that it looked like I was trying to get myself some hype, but I just want to get 4.2 some energy. You guys, everyone, a round of applause for the fellows for 4.2. All right, great. So good evening. Thank you for that introduction, GK. I'm so thrilled to be here tonight. Like GK mentioned, my name is Joanne Yoon. I'm the director of Access Code, and I am really thrilled to share with you guys the amazing apps that these 34 developers have built. Before we get started, though, I would like to take a moment to share a little bit about the journey that these guys have been on since September. So back in the summer, about almost a year ago, we opened the application process for Access Code, and we received over 1,500 applications for this program. So you guys may remember you came on site to HQ for testing and interview day with two members of the Access Code and C4Q broader community. You were invited back for a 2-day JavaScript coding workshop. And after all of that hard work and persistence paid off, you joined the 4.2 full stack web cohort as web developers. So as you can see, it's an incredibly competitive process, and we're so proud, and you guys should be too, of all of the hard work that it took you just to take that first step into becoming web developers. So in terms of what it takes to get into Access Code and even take that first step on that journey, it really takes these 3 characteristics: passion, determination, and ambition. So obviously all of you guys had the technical chops to start launching on this journey. But even more than that, we are looking for these characteristics because it's really not just about doing the coding. And I think these past 4 weeks have been proof of that. What we're really looking for are these embodiments of the values of C4Q, because this is really what's going to take you past C4Q, past tonight, past graduation, and to becoming leaders in the tech industry. So as you guys in the audience watch these demos tonight, I think you will see all of those qualities and see the impact that all of our fellows are going to be making on the industry very soon. So starting from that first day in September, our fellows began a journey through the Access Code program, which is both intensive and also holistic. So these developers have gained hands-on experience in the fundamentals of web programming, building increasingly complex projects in JavaScript, React, and Node. But more than that, they've honed their professional skills and started to build out their networks in the tech industry, acquiring the mentors and future peers that are going to be with them at tech teams all over New York and beyond. So the teamwork and passion for problem solving that you will see on stage tonight took spark on launch day, when each class had as its first challenge to create a tower using nothing more than marshmallow and spaghetti. So since then, they have tested and pushed through the limits of their skills, becoming better every time. So as I learned here when I worked at Google, launch and iterate, and you guys have been doing that in spades. 4.2, this message is directly to you. You all have put in long hours coming to HQ 3 nights a week, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, pushing yourself to learn and practice all of the skills that you're going to demonstrate on stage tonight. You all have unbelievable drive and are frankly an inspiration to me, so I want you to know that. I'm so proud to have you guys up here demoing tonight, so you guys are going to kill it. So before we get started on the demos, I just want to give kind of a series of 3 shout-outs. First is to the volunteers, many of whom are sitting in the audience tonight. I really want to appreciate, on behalf of the entire C4Q team, volunteers who work tirelessly to help make such a huge impact on our fellows in such a short amount of time. So our volunteers impart such valuable knowledge and experience through workshops and one-on-one coaching. So whether you're a volunteer that has seen us through multiple cohorts or are discovering C4Q for the very first time, I want to thank you. So can I get a quick round of applause for all of the volunteers? The second round of thank yous goes out to all of the capstone mentors. So all of the products that you're going to see on stage are the direct handiwork of the fellows who built them, but there are specific mentors both from technical, design, and demo and presentation perspective that kind of acted as consultants and sanity checks along the way. So can I get one big thank you to all of the mentors who helped all of these projects come to life. And finally, my final word of thanks goes out to our Access Code Brain Trust. So Access Code is now in its 4th cycle, and we rely more than ever on these engineers to make sure that our curriculum is not only rigorous, but relevant. So the engineers that you see here on this slide have dedicated their time and their energy to making sure that our web, iOS, and Android stacks are as amazing as we can make them in partnership with our instructional team. So James, Orda, and J-Rod each are long-term C4Q volunteers who have invested all of this care into our curriculum to make sure it's the very best it can be. So my final thank you, can we get a round of applause for all of the engineers of the C4Q Brain Trust? Okay, so this is a graphic that the Access Code developers have seen more than a few times. These web developers have completed a 6-month immersive experience in the fundamentals of the program. And then this past 4 weeks, building up the capstone projects that you're going to see demoed tonight. However, this does not mark the end of their journeys. After today, they're going to move on to prepping for technical interviews, building their individual passion projects, and then launching into their job searches. So like I said, it's an amazing journey that each of these 34 developers are on. 4.2, from today, you guys are going to embark on your individual journeys and eventually start your careers in different places on different teams. But one thing that I know for sure is that you guys are going to have each other's backs, and C4Q will have them too. So once again, I'm so truly proud of all that you have accomplished that has brought you here to Demo Day tonight. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to introduce the demos that you guys have been eagerly awaiting. So to do that, I'd like to pass the mic to Reed Gaines, our web instructor, and Michael Denal, web TA. Thank you.
Fun. I get a clip. That's great. I'm just gonna hold it in my hand. Hi everyone. I'm Reed and this is Michael. We're part of the instruction team for the web development cohort of Access Code, dedicated to making sure our developers are fully technically prepared. Now, we recognize that learning to code is no easy task. It requires an incredible amount of dedication and persistence. But our fellows over the past 7 months have proved themselves equal to the challenge. It's been an incredible experience working with all of you and seeing you succeed. If you can remember back to the first day when you all had to introduce yourselves as aspiring developers. As you take the stage tonight, you are aspiring no more. You guys have done it. Heck yeah. All of that learning culminates tonight. 1 month ago, our fellows kicked off the process for the projects they are demoing tonight. The ideas are all fellow-driven. Now, engineering is a team sport. All of our developers worked in groups, combining their technical, design, and project management skills. Now, just some table setting, right? Each team will begin by introducing themselves, and then they'll have 6 minutes to demo their web apps for you. After each demo, we will pass the mic to the panelists for 2 minutes of Q&A with the team. At the end of all the demos, we'll have a round of comments from our panelists to close out the evening. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. It's your line. It's your line now. Michael Denal, everybody.
All right, guys. We're going to get the night started. And I just want to know who's excited for some demos. So our first group is going to be OWA. So give us a hand for OWA.
There we go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We're really excited to introduce our app to you, but first, we'd like to introduce ourselves. My name is Rachel Jackson, and I come to the tech industry with almost 10 years of nonprofit experience, coordinating services, advocating for, and assisting others in need. And now, as a full-stack developer, I look forward to continuing my work in helping others by building human-centered technology that not only educates, but empowers individuals and communities around the world.
Hello, my name is Michael, and my journey to becoming a developer began last year when I decided to make a switch from accounting over to programming. And growing up, I always had a curiosity of how things were built, how they were put together. And along with that, I had a really big passion for education technology. And now, with the skills that I gained over the past few months, I'm really looking forward to building something that can have a very positive impact in that aspect of technology.
Hi, I'm Crystal Grant. I am an artist, graphic designer, and now a full-stack web developer. I am all about self-improvement and empowerment, as I possess the need to inspire others through my artistic design and innovative web applications. I am excited to be in a field where I am encouraged to learn, question, and just explore the world around me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Crystal Willock. I have a background in finance and science. In biology, they teach us that DNA is just code, and code is within all of us. I asked myself the question, if we're just code, who actually programmed that code? That actually spurred my passion for technology. I pursued gaining these skills over the last year so that I can contribute to the changing industry and so that I'll be able to express my ideas, not only my ideas, but others' ideas as well. And with that, we'd like to invite you on our journey to save socially with OO.
So some of you may be asking yourselves, how does one save socially? Well, you do that with a money pool. For centuries, people around the world have utilized the concept of money pools in order to achieve their short and long-term savings goals by pooling their money together when other forms of formalized saving like long-term loans and lines of credit weren't available to them. Now, if you're not familiar with the money pool, we have an example for you. Here we have a 5-person money pool who've all decided on a savings goal of $500. Each month, 4 people contribute $125 and 1 person takes the payout. Now this cycle of 4 people contributing and 1 person receiving the payout continues until every member of the money pool receives the $500 payout.
A few years ago, when I moved to NYC, I needed a down payment for an apartment. Unfortunately, like 69% of Americans, I had little to zero savings. I didn't want to borrow credit. I didn't want the burden of an extra debt load. Normally in this case, I would turn to my traditional money pool, but my friends and family were so far away. This was the concept for OO. OO is a social savings platform where people can go and encourage each other to save. People are 3 times less likely to reach their savings goals by themselves. OO provides accountability that they may not have otherwise. We take care to provide we take care of all the transactions, so there's actually no worry about heavy cash flows with traditional money clubs. And I'll actually like to invite Jason, our OO community member, to inform you about his experience.
So in this user story, I'll be acting as Jason, and I'm a recent college graduate, and my first thought is to buy my own first car. But I'm terrible at saving, right? I'm a 24-year-old. So I hear about this app called OO, and first thing I do, demo time, right? So I already have an account, so I'm gonna log in, and technical difficulty.
What do you tell me to do?
So Jason logs in.
Yeah. Are we in? Okay. There we are. Okay, we're in. So, all right. So, so I'm directed to my profile after I log in, right? And I see a list of suggested groups and groups I'm already in. As you can see, I'm already joined at the student loan. I just graduated college. But I want to join a car stash group that will help me save for my own first car. And so I go to the group dashboard and I see the first group here, Car Stash, is a group dedicated to just saving up for a car. And there's room for one more, so I'm going to join a group and I'm open up to the chat board where I can write anything I want, maybe a welcoming message. But for now, we'll go back to my profile, and I'm so there's the Car Stash. But I'm also, since I'm already in the student loans and I have to make a payment, I'm given the payment option down here. So click of a button, I made that payment, and I'm one step closer to my first car.
Okay, so the road ahead for OWU, we would like to implement a rating system as well as a private invite-only group chat for individuals who only want to invite their family and friends. We also want to implement Google Plus and Facebook logins so people can share with everyone how they're saving with OWU.
Investors and future OWU community members, you can visit us at theofficialowu.com. You can follow us on Twitter and check us out on Instagram. We look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.
I'm gonna be honest. Ooh. Wait, is that yes? I'm gonna be honest. My program manager wrote me these terrible puns, and I'm just going to say them verbatim in between each one. Oh, whoa! What a cool app! Panelists, who wants to be the first to ask OO a question?
Is this on? Is it on? Okay. So just in terms of authentication and security, how did you guys think about making sure the user would feel comfortable signing up, considering they're thinking about financial information there?
Yeah, so we didn't mention this over the demo, but we're using the Stripe API to handle all the payments. So that way we don't have to worry about security or if they're worried that their money's gonna get stolen. Stripe takes care of that, and all we do is just act as a treasurer for all of these groups.
Hi guys, great job. I love solutions in the financial inclusion space, so I think this is really innovative. How do you think about helping members build trust amongst each other, amongst the people in the group? So I imagine that part of what enables this to work in your communities is you know the people, you've related to them, maybe in different contexts, whether working together or participating in an organization together. How do you try to recreate that online and create that trust between people?
Thank you. We actually, for our future steps, the member rating system is one way that we are going to utilize creating trust. Members that don't have on-time payments or pay late or don't pay at all, their rating would go down and they would not be able to join groups. And also implementing the private invite-only groups would allow you to only have a group with people that you know. They would have a special code or a URL that would allow them to only be able to access that one group, and it wouldn't be public for anyone else.
Who did the logo?
Our design.
Can we get a shout out?
I think that's about 2 minutes. Hey, give it up for OWO.
Thank you.
Now, please join me in presenting the next group on stage, Ross.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. Today we want to present our application, but before RAS. But before we do, let's introduce ourselves. So the name of the thing is Sassy, and my name is Angel. A little bit about me. So I'm from Dominican Republic. After moving to New York, I decided to study accounting, but then I realized I want a career that allows me to be closer to the user. And as a software developer, I have the ability to create applications that will be useful for millions of people around the world.
Hi, my name is Susan and have a background in sociology and graphic design. My interest in coding began when I was in the 6th grade. I took an HTML class and I thought it was so much fun. And ever since then, I began to explore on my own through different sites like Code Academy. As a full-stack web developer, I want to create apps to help people in their everyday lives. And as a female developer, I want to empower women in a field that's mostly dominated by men.
Hi, my name is Stephanie. I was born in Hong Kong, and my first experience with computer science was actually in high school where I did robotics in Java. I was captivated by how lines of code could turn into something amazing, like a game, move machines like it was magic, and overall give people the power to change the world. Since then, my love for computer science has grown, and with my background in corporate communications and newfound skills, I hope to create great things with amazing people.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ivan Mendoza, and I come from a background in economics. I started my career in financial services, but earlier last year, I wanted to expand my career into technology because I saw the way that technology is affecting the financial service industry and also the way that people bank. Now, as a software engineer, I'm interested in building customer-facing solutions while developing a reputation and establishing myself as an innovator in New York City and also representing the Black and Latino community in tech. RAS, booking your creativity. We are a marketplace for creative rental studios. Why RAS? Well, the creative economy in the United States is valued up to about $700 billion, and that's drives revenue from dance, music, photography, and other creative fields. But there is a problem. Sometimes artists, whether you're a photographer or a dancer, you are having a hard time finding a studio or a creative space for them to create their art. And what they do usually, they go on Google search, they find a phone number or an email, and then they start talking to somebody. And the conversation back and forward starts. And that can be tedious and frustrating for some people. Also, we found a problem for the business side that they usually don't have a place where they can promote their own book spaces, or they also don't have a clear way to track their own book spaces. So RAS provides a solution right now because we are a marketplace, a one-stop shop where an artist can go and find and book a space, and a business can go also and promote the spaces. And right now we're gonna show you our demo where Susan is gonna tell you how to add a space in RAS.
All right, so right now I'm going to demo from the host perspective. Hi, my name is John Lopez, and I'm a business owner. I own several studios, but I had a problem. It was really difficult for me to find an efficient booking system until I heard about RAS, this really great app where I can easily add my studio, but it's even easier for the user to book it. And so I've been using RAS for a couple of months now, and it's been successful, so I've acquired a new studio space called Slick. I'm going to rent it out as a photography studio. So I need to add my studio. I'm going to log into my host account. This is my host profile page. Then I go to add a studio. And I already have some information filled out, like the name, Slick Studio. The tagline will be Experience Slick. I'll submit this. Then I go back into my account. Under the studio section, I can see Slick Studio now populates. Now users are able to rent out my studio. And so I've just demonstrated from the host perspective, and now Stephanie will demonstrate from the user perspective.
Hi, so today I'm going to be Deborah Smith, a photographer from New York City who absolutely adores her dogs. So I thought, what better way to show how amazing my dogs are than to create a dog calendar, send to all my friends and family. I knew I was going to need an enclosed space, and to take quality photos, and also to make sure my dogs don't escape. So I'm going to log into my user account, and now I'm going to click the search button. So now I can see all the studios that are available. I know 6 studios, a photography studio, and click on it. Now I can see all the information and confirm that it's within my time, budget, and location. Now I'm gonna book the studio. So I'm gonna pick April 11th and select the room, and then hit submit. Now I'm gonna select a time that I'm available, anytime, and then put dog photo shoot, because he needs to know too. And then now I see I successfully booked my studio. I'm gonna go back to my account, and underneath booking history, I can now see my booking. And this is what a user flow would look like on the app. Now I'm gonna pass on to Angel for future features.
Okay, for the future feature or application, we want to implement a review system and also a messaging system between the host and the user. That way, we build trust between our user. We also want to improve the user experience by providing a location using the Google Map API and implement a payment using the Stripe API so the user can go and pay on the app. We also want to expand to a different market, like different cities in the US and different countries as well. Thank you to everyone.
And now you can go and book your creativity.
All right, guys, that was wonderful. Now, questions from the panelists for, oh my God, that was a France, but that was a rant fastic. So, questions from the panelists.
That was really great and is really solving like a real problem. Have you guys thought about what are you going to do to market this to acquire users?
Great question. We have right now 4 different strategies. The first one is a marketing campaign with the actual hosts of the businesses, so they can start promoting it to the people that rent. And the second one is using social media. The third one is by also doing advertisement in public transportation. And the last one is actually using our users so they can start connecting with other users. So maybe like a promotional video where photographers, dancers, and all creative people can be in there.
That was a great job, guys. Love the energy. You could just feel the teamwork and how you guys work together. It was awesome. So is this something you want to keep working on? Is this like a...
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, cool.
I think it's great. I think it's really solving a real problem in New York City. There's so many artists that lose their space and they need a creative place to go, and it's a really cool idea. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm curious if you guys talk to many potential users, and how do people solve this problem today? It does seem like such an obvious unmet need, and there's loads of space. Do people just struggle to find things today, or do they use Craigslist or Google searches? Is that the best that they can do?
Okay, so right now there is a different way you can go and book a studio. So you can go like to different sites and find the studio that you want. Then you can go compare prices, and then you have to call to check availability, and then you have to book, which is the tedious process we're trying to eliminate from the user. So this is the best platform that you're gonna find right now.
All right, guys, for our next group, actually, give another round of applause. For our next group, I would like to welcome Chatterbox.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Andrew Caldwell. I have a background in tech support, but I've always found it boring. It wasn't until a conversation with my coworker that challenged us to become better in tech. So that's when I zeroed in on programming. I took online courses in CSS, HTML, and JavaScript, and I was creating these websites, and I was enjoying it. And then that's when I decided to become a full stack web developer.
Hi, my name is Susana. I got introduced to coding when I was in middle school and I was starting to use MySpace. I know everyone here had a MySpace account. So I really wanted to make an awesome web page, and I looked up tutorials on HTML, CSS, and Photoshop. I started to fall in love with code when I realized that a couple few lines of code can totally transform a web page. As a software developer, I realized that there's so much else to learn and explore. I can't wait to see what else I can discover.
Hi, my name is Shelton Pagan. I got into coding because I wanted a challenge. It was a challenge, but I survived it. And before I learned to code, I studied art. Specifically, I studied painting. And I've discovered that making a painting is just like writing code. If you want to get better at it, you just have to keep on creating stuff.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tassi. Sorry. Hi, my name is Tassi. I come from a very non-technical background, primarily in retail, but that's not something anyone's ever really passionate about. Became interested in web development, so I taught myself HTML and CSS. I then looked online for any online classes or programs that would expand on my interests. As luck would have it, my employer, Blue Apron, was offering access to a web education, and naturally I applied. Now, with the skills that I've acquired, I look forward to a fulfilling career in software engineering.
Hi, my name is Eric. About 10 years ago, a professor of mine actually introduced me to programming. And with Microsoft Visual Basic, I actually created several games that you might actually recognize from 1990s, such as like the Starship Invaders or or Snake. Currently right now, I'm revisiting my interest back into programming to become a software developer. Thank you.
Our app is called Chatterbox. Join the chatter.
Okay, so how many of you have watched Game of Thrones? Yeah, of course. That's one of my favorite shows, and if you're anything like me, you probably had a lot to say about the recent season, mainly that Daenerys lost one of her dragons, spoiler alert. But with all these passionate expressions of disbelief, you might want to share that with other people, and Twitter can be a little vast, and you might lose your voice there. You also don't want to pay $40 on top of your cable bill to YouTube TV and just to talk about it. So we offer a free specific space for fans of television to engage with other fans in real time.
So our group envisioned an app that would combine what TV fans love and also provide them a platform where other TV fanatics can share their thoughts and feelings in real time.
So, when a user visits Chatterbox, they're going to see a schedule of today's TV shows. And when they click on a link, one of two things can happen. If the show's not on the air yet, they're going to see a countdown clock. If the show is airing, they're going to be asked to create a temporary username, and then they can join the chat.
So take John, for instance. He loves watching TV after work, but he has no one to share his experience with anyone on TV.
So now it's demo time, guys. So I go onto Chatterbox's homepage and I see join the chatter. I definitely want to join the chatter. Cool, now I see a TV schedule and popular chat rooms. So I love Jeopardy, so I'm gonna go on to Jeopardy's chat page. cool, I already see that there's 3 online users, and they're as excited Jeopardy as I am. I want to type in, oh my God, I can't believe I got the daily double right. Okay, so the show is about to end, and I'm gonna just go log out and see you later, guys. So I'm gonna switch back to the presentation.
Okay, so for future steps, we're going to implement a user login and user profiles. We're going to build a community with administrators and moderators by controlling spamming and language. We're also going to prevent user abuse.
We want to also expand the market by having pursuing partnerships with Netflix and Hulu to offer live streaming.
Lastly, we also want to continue the conversation afterwards, so we're going to provide after-show forums.
We, the Specs, want to thank C4Q instructors, Reed, Lev, Cody, and also our program manager, Priya. Shout out to our tech mentor, Ben. Are there any more questions? Are there any questions for us?
Oh, that was my job. That was my job. Thanks, Chatterbox. That idea was really out of the box.
Good one.
Are there any questions for them?
It's hard to follow that pun.
Yeah.
But I think your example at the beginning of talking about how many people have opinions about Game of Thrones and want to discuss that, really resonated. And I was curious why you made the decision to separate the conversation that happens while the show's going on from what you proposed at the end about adding forums, rather than just kind of linking from the TV guide and the schedule into a forum so that people could continue the conversation afterwards, come back when they had thoughts a few days later, that sort of thing.
Right. Well, our original concept was to have a chat that people could join in real time so they can talk during the show. But one of my cohort mates also told us that she doesn't really like talking during the show, but right after, to really dive into her thoughts about what just happened. So we wanted to give both those options.
Cool. Nice job. How do you keep out the trolls? So.
By keeping out trolls, we're going to try to have admin rights for different people who have, for different chat rooms. So then they can take out the people. And also we're going to include in the back end a filter, like if anyone uses a curse word 3 times to get kicked out and things like that. So please look out for that.
I have another question. Did you think about helping people find new shows this way based on either following people or similar content or something like that?
So on the webpage, we have popular chat rooms to kind of give people the option like, oh, okay, so I don't really know about this show, but it's on the popular chat room part, so they can just go in and join it and just see what our people are talking about. And we also give a part of a summary about the show and the episode, so then they actually know what's going on at least.
Is this secretly a dating app?
It's a friendship thing. Gosh. We haven't thought about that, but we do not exclude that.
I had written down, what do you think the other uses of this could possibly be? And yeah.
Building communities, and now lovers.
Okay, great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Big round of applause. Oh. Awesome. Next up is Dev Room. Give them a huge round of applause. Hell yeah. Don't forget to smile. Smile.
Thank you so much for having us tonight. We are Team DevRoom, and we're really excited to be here. My name is Emin Allen. A little bit about myself. I've loved computers since I was a kid, but it wasn't an interest that I pursued any further until recently. So fast forward, I graduated college, didn't know what to do with myself, ended up getting a job in tech sales, did that for a while, but ultimately I realized that I want to do something more. I'd rather be building the software rather than selling it. So I got into web development, fell in love with it, haven't looked back since. Here I am, so really excited to be here and to showcase DevRoom to all of you.
Hi everyone, my name is Asia Sewar. I have 7 years of reprographics operation skills, and I have a background in fine arts and graphic design. The reason why I wanted to learn how to code was because other than loving being creative and problem solving, is that I wanted to create a platform for young artists to meet mentors and have support for building their portfolios.
Hi, my name is Raphael. Hi, my name is Raphael. I'm currently a senior computer science student with background experience in art and design. I'm passionate about coding and designing, so I attend college courses during the day to study programming languages, concepts, and techniques. And I go to C4Q by night and weekend to learn full stacks. During my free time, I spend my free time pursuing the art dream as a graphic designer on the iPad.
Good evening. My name is Amari Rose. A little bit about my background. I've always been surrounded by tech. My dad is a mechanical engineer. My older brother is a software engineer. I taught myself how to use a computer. One of my earliest memories is sneaking into my dad's room, my brother's room actually, and playing his Sega console and putting coins inside the Sega console because I thought it was an arcade. I'm sorry, Asani. That curiosity eventually led me to a career in IT support and ultimately as a full stack web developer. Enough about us, let's get to the app.
Okay, so DevRoom is a code-friendly learning management system. Right, so what does that mean? Code-friendly learning management system. A learning management system, you've probably used it before. If you've been to school recently, you've probably used Blackboard. Maybe you have experience with Canvas. They're educational platforms that allow instructors to create educational content like quizzes. Students will take those quizzes and then they get graded on it. So we incorporate that into DevRoom. But the problem with existing learning management systems is that they are tailored for general education purposes. They're not tailored for programmers. Right? So it's not the same as if a student is submitting a response, an essay response is not really the same as writing code. Because when you're writing code, you're essentially constructing an architectural blueprint that allows programs to work. So with that complexity, we decided to improve the overall experience by adding code-friendly features such as space formatting and syntax highlighting.
So what is DevRoom? Take a look at the illustrations you see on the screens. So on your left, you have general LMS platforms. This consists of things like Canvas, Blackboard, Moodle. This is kind of general purpose applications, not really meant for code. On the other side, you have your specialized coding platforms. This is things like Code Academy, HackerRank, Code Wars. This is where you could write and submit code, but no interaction for students and teachers. So where DevRoom fits in, we provide an elegant solution, an easy-to-use solution, a friendly user solution to write and run your code, and as well to interact with students and teachers. There's a further example of what we do. As you see, there's 2 examples. One on the right is LMS sites, and this is what your typical LMS site is, plain text. As you can see, there's a function pasted into the question, and it's hard to read. There's no color, and generally unstructured, and it's really hard on the brain and eyes to figure out what's going on. On the other side, you have a function with syntax highlighting. This is a function that's easier to read. You can clearly identify where the function is. You can clearly identify the if statement, the return statement, the const, the variables, and whatnot. You want to have this because this makes it easier for debugging. This also makes it easier for code review for other colleagues looking over your code. This also makes it easier for makes you more productive because now you're writing less buggy code, and also it makes it easier in your eyes and brain in general. So with that said, let's demo the app.
So we're gonna start Raphael as a student. He's gonna be logging into his homepage with his email and his password. So as soon as he logs in, he's gonna see that code quiz interface with all the quizzes. Just give it some time. It takes a little time. Yeah. So now you can see all the quizzes with the dates, and you can see that the active quiz is highlighted by the green. So now he's going to enter the first quiz. So this is a common developer question. It has if statements, it has functions, and he's gonna, for the live demo, we're just gonna paste it in.
It works really fast.
It works really fast, and you can see that it has syntax highlighting and it's also indentation. So now he's gonna submit the quiz. You can also submit the quiz multiple choice answers and single choice answers also. So now he's gonna log out. So he submitted his quiz. Now we're gonna have Amari, the instructor. He's gonna log on now to his homepage with his email and his password. Once he logs in, he can actually see the submitted quizzes, which are active, and he's gonna log in and see that Raphael submitted an active quiz. He's gonna open it up and see Raphael's submitted code. And now he's gonna add comments to Raphael's code. So once he finishes adding the comments to Raphael's code, Raphael will be able to see the submitted, graded instructor comments. And now he's gonna log out. So now we would like to go into our future features. So the future features that we want to implement are auto grading, which will allow the instructor to actually just have predefined criteria and auto grade students' quizzes. And then also the simple email notifications will update users with submitted quizzes, grades, and added quizzes. And Raphael will speak about the REPL and the collaboration code quiz.
We also plan to add real-time code collaboration and REPL features. With a collaboration feature, users are able to collaborate on writing code together in real time. And also for the REPL feature, it allows users to run the code directly within the browser.
Thank you so much for sharing this night with us. Thank you so much for allowing us to showcase DevRoom to you all. And I guess we're ready for questions if you have any.
So I'm probably the non-engineer in the group, but I have taken a coding class, and I will say that this solves a real pain point because I would basically know my code wouldn't work only by the fact that I wasn't getting it to do what it was supposed to do, but I could never get there was never an easy way to share it with the instructor. So I really like how you guys have built both, the ability for the student to very easily write it within the platform with the syntax highlighting, as well as the ability to sort of review and comment. Curious, where the idea came from for you guys as a team.
So as a student at C4Q, we currently use Canvas as our learning management system. But the problem is that Canvas does not provide syntax highlighting for coding questions. So that's where the idea came from.
I'm going to snipe an earlier comment. Shout out to whoever designed the logo. Actually, all the logos have been awesome so far, really great. Have you guys thought about how you're going to charge for it? What's the business model around this? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I can take that question. It's a good question. So the business model would be a kind of freemium model. So we're looking to provide this application for free of charge for nonprofits, for small companies, and to charge enterprise businesses, large businesses, scales, universities, people that could afford to pay, basically.
So since you mentioned large businesses there, I'm curious, who are you targeting as the customer? Is it really the education market, or is it also corporate? And I wonder that because of the diagram you had at the beginning showing like learning management systems compared to the platforms like Code Wars and other things that are less about education and more about like self-learning and competition and things like that.
I think one way you could think of DevRoom is a hyper-focused LMS system focused on code and developers. So LMSs are used by big applications, big companies. This, in the future, will be able to do the same thing on that scale.
And we also thought of just the practical application. In the U.S., high school classes are required to take computer science, right? So it's a very specialized course, and when you're typing code, you want it to be structured, you want it to be easy on the eyes, and you want to have the most productivity possible. And DevRoom allows instructors to custom tailor the quizzes based on the curriculum, and the student has all the great code-friendly features.
Now, give them a round of applause. That was a pretty good idea. Thank you, DevRoom. Now, for our next group, we're going to join me in welcoming Evolve.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Thomas Kenny Jr., and I'm a modern-day Renaissance man. I say that because for the last 15 years, I've been working as a television broadcast producer, but simultaneously, I have been pursuing my passion as a web developer. I have now gone through self-learning and just survived an intensive coding program, and I am now a full-stack web developer, and now I'm happy to say that my passion is becoming my full-time pursuit.
Hi, my name is John Alston. I've always been into technology, whether it was from putting computers together as a kid or fixing phones as a teen. But I never thought I'd be into coding. So one day I'm at work and one of my coworkers saw me fixing my phone and suggested that I pursue a career in technology. So from there, I went into full stack. But what I didn't know is that it would come so naturally. And now I feel as though I've gained enough skills and knowledge to actively pursue a career in development.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevin Anderson, and growing up, I've played a lot of video games, from Pokemon to World of Warcraft. I was fascinated by the artwork, animation, and gameplay mechanics, but I was really intrigued by the technical process that went into creating those games, and I wanted to learn more. So I set out on an adventure to learn coding at my local college, and upon that path, I found C4Q. Now, as a more confident developer, I want to use my skills to design interfaces to help users understand technology more easier.
Hello, everyone. My name is James Roberts. I come from an art and design background. And traditionally, I was very happy with the experiences that I gained, having the pleasure of working for Fortune 500 companies like Mattel, even government organizations like the United Nations. But what drove me to become a software engineer was when I started my own company, jamesroberts.com. It was a daunting task. Yes, it was. I took it very slow. I tried my best to learn on my own on the evenings and the weekends, and it all paid off. We are here at Google. I'm very excited to be here. On behalf of Team Evolve, please enjoy our presentation.
Now, the inspiration for our web app is League of Legends. Why League of Legends? Well, League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena. There are over 100 million active players every month, and it worldwide has become a huge phenomenon. But now, with great games come great responsibility. Therein leads to our problem. League of Legends is a very complex game. As a newbie, just trying to understand how to choose champions and items just to become battle worthy is an incredibly complex proposition. And also there are time limits which make that even more challenging. But therein comes Evolve.
So, of course, we came here today to give you the solution. Evolve is the solution because it is a battle simulator that gives you an out-of-game experience to simply practice. We want to alleviate your learning curve as a new user. Now, as a new user, here are some obstacles. There are such things as champions. These are characters that you play with in the game. There are 140 of them, and just like Thomas said, there is a time limit of a minute to make a decision. Now, there are also counters. Counters are a person that can beat me statistically. I gotta watch out for that guy. Now, there are last but the most important item optimization. The way that works is simply these are power-ups. These give my character the ability to beat other players. If I don't know how to use these things, it becomes a serious problem. All right, guys, it's demo time.
Demo time.
It's okay to clap. Don't be afraid to clap. All right, so here we are at the Evolve app. The first thing that we'll notice is that there is a very smooth, simple interface because again, I am a newbie player. I have all 140 characters in the palm of my hand, but again, I'm just starting out. I'm gonna go with my man, Brand. He's the only guy I know how to play with so far. So I go up to the search bar, I type in the beginning of his name, he automatically pops up. When I click on him, now his information comes in. Now this is the most beautiful part. Right below, you can see there's a suggested item build. We have this built in for all 140 of these characters. Now on the other side of the screen is a very big, intimidating looking guy who is my counter. This guy can beat me statistically. I have to watch out for him. So in the event that we're playing a game and the enemy team gets to pick first, I think, guys, it would be pretty smart if I take his name now, put him in the search, and now by clicking on him, I have the enemy team's counters. Now, don't worry. In the event that you cannot pick this guy for some reason, if you scroll down, we've already taken care of that. We have 4 other alternates that you can choose from. As a newbie player, I am super happy with this. I needed this help. I'm ready to play. Now, from the advanced player's perspective, just to give you an idea of scope, I am a level 10. My man Kevin here is a level 74. Let's see if the Evolve app can also help him.
As an experienced player, one of the most challenging part of League of Legends is understand all the items. There's over 500 different items. That could take me days to read while I'm playing the game. Evolve solves this problem by simply customizing all the items that your champion should use based on win rates. So these items are the most popular items that have won every game. We just easily summarize it in the bottom so new players and experienced players can easily know what to choose from and less time reading in the game and more time actually playing the game. So now I'm going to pass it over to John to tell you about future implementations.
Okay, for the future, we plan to add a profile page in which you can keep up with your actual in-game progress and to also save any item builds you might have used during the simulation.
And what we really want for you guys to take from this presentation is that this does not exist. We are blurring the lines between new players and advanced players. With the Evolve app, what we've built is an engine. And under the hood, we can use this engine for multiple games. We're talking brand extension here, guys. And as you can see on the screen, there are other online player games that you can be involved in. On behalf of Team Evolve, we are so happy to be here, Google. Thank you to everyone that made this possible. Our mentor, Dion, that's in the audience. You are awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
awesome energy, amazing teamwork. You guys just really came off the stage. So, did this tool help you get to level 74, or is it?
It's gonna help me though.
Actually, I found that I use this tool quite often. Even as an experienced player, I find myself going on our app all the time just to look for counters, so I don't have to read guides and walkthroughs, and that's saving me so much time, so I can actually play the game.
And also me too, as like a new user, I just don't have the time to go to, WordPress sites and blog sites. I honestly don't even know where to go to look for those type of sites. So having this is awesome for me as well.
So you're gonna release this into the world, or is this?
Absolutely. Yes. It's up now. Go to evolveyourgameplay.com.
Yeah, this is really cool. I love the fact that you're dogfooding it and using it yourself before releasing it. That's a great engineering practice. So keep that up. How are you gathering the stats? I don't know anything about this game, but how are you gathering the numbers and deciding what to show the players?
Okay, League itself has an API that gives you information, but there's also another API that's better statistically. So we combine the two to give you the information you see there.
And my man John is very, he's very calm, cool, and collective. The thing that he's leaving out here is that our secret sauce is that we have created custom endpoints that currently do not exist. This is something that is very big because of the fact that it makes us very marketable.
Very cool. Thanks.
Look, as the menswear guy in the panel. Just wanted to say I really like the way you dressed up the t-shirts with the blazer.
Give these guys a hand. Ooh, can't hold all these items. This isn't even a pun. I don't play League of Legends, but maybe I'll check it out. Next up, we have Team Thrifty Lovers.
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Sharif Ahmed. I'm a junior full stack developer, and I got into coding through my brother, who's also an engineer. And one day, I hope to make a music app that integrates AI technology and machine learning that allows users to make a song by explaining their ideas to the AI.
Hi everyone, my name is Lucy. I got interested in tech after receiving one of the original brick Game Boys as a kid, and I was fascinated by how the whole game could fit in that small cartridge. I have a background in real estate rentals, and I hope to use what I've learned at C4Q to create more access for New Yorkers to get affordable housing.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeanette, and I've always had a passion for psychology and visual arts. Working in the retail industry for over 10 years, I've had a great experience working with a diverse group of people at any given time. My hope is to one day create an app that fuses these two passions where art therapy is available to all.
Hi, my name is Kyla Massey, and I'm a designer who happened to fall in love with the possibility of code that's transparent, innovative, and inclusionary. I'm currently a Media Democracy Fund Fellow at the Center for Media Justice, and my work focuses on digital security trainings and curriculum building, and really expanding the conversation around technology and technical literacy within movement organizations that are across the country. When it comes to being a web developer, I hope to bring both my passion about social justice as well as technology into one and really start to continue to support organizations and individuals around understanding that access to technology is possible.
Hi, everybody. My name's AJ. My journey into tech started when I began having daily arguments with my mentor about whether or not iOS was better than Android. Turns out I was wrong. Android's better. However, when I started coding with React, I fell in love with creating web applications and collaborating with others to make something from nothing. Over the last month, my team and I have done exactly that with Thrifty Lovers. Conversations about money are hard. Conversations about money with someone you want to date or are currently dating are even harder. You want to take your date somewhere that they'll enjoy, but you don't want to go broke in the process. What's the point of going out for lobster on Friday night when you have to eat ramen noodles the rest of the week after? Currently, there are very few ways to alleviate the stress and awkwardness associated with dating on a budget.
So the solution is Thrifty Lovers, which is a dating app that matches users based on budget tiers they've selected. These include free, low, and average. Free is no cost, low is $1 to $49, and average is $50 to $100. Events are generated based on these budget tiers they've selected, and then users can choose to go on events together afterwards. This helps to alleviate the stress and awkwardness associated with how much one should spend on a date. It also helps users save money while also meeting new people.
Money literally touches everything, and awkwardness and stress around money is something that can bleed into even the most intimate parts of our lives. We did a survey during our production, and we found that the average cost that we found in New York City dates was approximately $135. This could be a first date, this could be a second date. In terms of the cost, we're really wanting to use Thrifty Lovers as an opportunity for users to not have to think about anything that's stressful and not have to put a cost specifically on the possibility of connection.
So as you can see here, our user, Bobby Longface, he's sad. He's sad because he's single and he doesn't think he has enough money to enter the romantic space. While working part-time, his coworkers, who are users of Thrifty Lovers already, suggested that he join the site. Now we're gonna go to the demo. On the landing page, Bobby can see what Thrifty Lovers is all about. You select your budget, meet your match, and go on a date.
All right, thanks, AJ. Thrifty Lovers primarily focuses on matching its users based off of gender, gender preference, and most importantly, budget tier. You get to select your budget tier through the registration process, but today we'll be skipping that as Bobby has graciously graced us with his user credentials. So this is Bobby's profile. This is a public profile that any users that have matched with him can see. And as you can see, he is in the budget tier free. When you would log in, you would primarily want to go to the matches page to see any new matches that you have gotten. And from here, you can check out your match's public profile as well to see if they're of interest. And from there, you can head over to the events page and decide whether or not it'll give you ideas to spark the conversation and to lead it towards a date by checking out some of our events that are loaded out from an API. And then from there, you decide to message your match.
So now you can see our user, Bobby Longface, is in better spirits about his love life after using Thrifty Lovers.
So in future iterations of our app, we plan on using more APIs, such as the Yelp API and the Eventbrite API to give our users more event choices. We'll also incorporate a couples feature so couples can plan thrifty dates together. And we'll expand outside of New York to cities such as LA and San Francisco.
We'd like to thank everyone for their help and support. And please use Thrifty Lovers because love is a bargain.
think you may have sort of answered this question in your future features, but I'm married, but I'm cheap, so I love the idea. I love the idea of the free tier, but my wife would be concerned if I was trying to meet people by using it. Have you thought about just letting people find events based on budgets, just so they have more reason to come back regularly, and you can potentially access a larger pool of customers?
Yes, actually, we wanted to include that in our MVP, but we thought we might be losing focus a bit, so we decided to just keep it based off of singles. But in the future, we definitely want to include couples to just come in and look at our events.
Have you thought about, I thought this was great, by the way. I love the fact that you're solving like human problems, emotional problems with this technology. It's really cool. Like technology taking stress instead of adding to it is awesome. Have you thought about, it's kind of related to your question, but have you thought about integrating with other applications or other services?
Yeah, thank you for that question, by the way. In our MVP, we had a lot more APIs that we wanted to use, but we just didn't have the time for it, just because of scope and everything like that. So we want to use a Eventbrite API, Yelp API, just a plethora of them, really, to give our users as many options as possible. What did you say? Groupon as well, yeah. Groupon is really good. Spreads out to all of the categories.
See, I was thinking the thrifty lovers should save money on OO, but if they can't find anyone that's in, it might be a Chatterbox or an Evolve night.
I'm down for a collab as long as the money's there.
Now, please join me with welcoming Plans with a Z.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'd like to introduce you to our website, Plans with a Z. Meet the Plans team. Hi again. My name is Asia. I come from a non-technical background, but have always been intrigued by all that tech has to offer. Growing up, I had a vision of helping people and bettering the world. However, somewhere along the way, I realized I had to help myself first. It was through the plethora of information, resources, and tools I found online that allowed me to do so. And in acquiring the skills I have in web development at C4Q, I feel empowered and inspired to create something that can enable people to help themselves and in turn help others.
Hi, my name is Cesarina Paula. I have a diverse background, which includes working for social justice as well as being an entrepreneur. I went into tech to merge those two fields in order to create web applications that will help nonprofit organizations and socially conscious businesses effectively serve their communities.
Hi, my name is Steve Ramirez, and I come from a non-technical background where the most tech-savvy thing I had to do was put solitaire in Spanish for my mother on the computer. I'd like to combine my passion for science and technology to help people from all walks of life, but I'd like to primarily focus on the LGBTQ and immigrant populations. These are two populations I hold very near and dear to my heart, who suffer from a lack of access and advancement in many facets of their lives. Through this experience in coding in general, I've learned that I'm coding for 16-year-old me and my family.
Hello, everyone. My name is LaShonda Miller. I have a background in social services. From college, joined an organization that focuses on community service, to currently in social work. I always strive to better my community the best way I know how. Currently with web development, I hope to help people in low-income areas better their lives through technology. So without further ado, let's get on to our site. So our website aims to provide a smooth and convenient experience for individuals looking to make collaborative plans with a group. We all know making plans with a group is very hectic. People have different schedules, they have different suggestions, people on different social media platforms. It can get really hectic and tedious, and sometimes you even wonder, why am I even friends with these people?
The solution, enter plans. Plans is very easy to use, and there's 3 simple steps we like to say. The first step is you brainstorm something. Something as easy as maybe a hike, a birthday party, business plans if you want to go out to drinks with your coworkers. Once you have your plans in motion, you then would go onto our website and set up your polls and your timers. These allow you to factor out any indecisiveness, and you would share the burden of creating these plans amongst a group democratically to come to a consensus. Once you have your general template out, you would then use our unique URL to share it to anyone that you'd like to invite to your plan. And from there, they can use our built-in chat functionality to have more colorful commentary if they'd like to add something, maybe potential suggestions. And then from there, your plans come to fruition.
Okay, so meet our user Summer. I'm Summer. I'm 22 years old, and I'm the social chair for my full stack cohort. As social chair, my job entails me to round up my peers and plan events. However, this can oftentimes be difficult because I have 30 peers and over 10 plus channels in Slack. The lack of communication, indecision, and the fact that we're on different schedules makes it hard for this to happen. So my grandfather, the smartest man in the universe, told me about plans. He's like, hey, Summer, plans has your back. And so I find myself, demo time, I find myself on plans. And it looks cool. I see how it works, but my grandfather told me all about this. I don't need this. I'm just going to go ahead and make the plans for a post-demo day party because we've had a long month and we deserve this. And I see that there's a chat functionality. I'm just going to post a message so whoever I invite can see what I've posted. Just going to send that quick message there. That's party. That's party. We're not partying. We're partying. And there's a location poll, so I'm going to put C4Q. C4Q is a good place to be. I'm going to put Barcade because I love Barcade, and I'm going to put Smokey's Tavern because I've heard that's dope. So I'm just going to create that poll, and obviously I'm going to vote for Barcade. And that vote is in. And I'm going to set up a timer just to ensure that everyone gets their votes in on time so we can get these plans rolling. And once I do that, I'm going to scroll down and I see that I can share my link with the click of a button. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and share it with my grandfather, Rick, so we can do things. And when Rick goes on my link, he can see that I've made this page, and he's going to put his vote in. Please vote for Barcade. Please vote. Okay. He's going for Barcade. And thank you, Rick. And he's just going to send me a message just to make sure we're on the same page. And classic Rick. So once the votes are in, the total number of votes, whatever's the highest votes, it's just going to be updated up here. Instead of to be decided, we're going to be decided, and we're going to put those plans in motion. Okay, sorry. All right, sorry, technical difficulties. Okay.
I can just pull this up right here. I got the demo deck. Let's just bear with us.
I got it.
Oh, forget it. We got it.
So for future implementations, first we would like to make plans fully responsive for easier access and quicker voting. Second, we would like to implement user registration to encourage repeat usage of our site. Users will have access to their current past events, as well as an address book with their favorite contacts. Third, we would like to use Google Maps and Yelp API to generate local suggestions, as well as map out directions to their finalized plans. And finally, we would like to partner up with local businesses to provide special deals for our users, which in return will generate new customers for said establishments.
With plans, you can do it all.
A through Z.
And a special
Thank you so much.
thank you.
So I love the timer. That's pretty cool. That's usually the forcing function. So did you guys use it? Did you use it to make plans?
Yeah, we're actually going to plan a post-demo day party. The user story is based off what I do at C4Q as social chair. and we're gonna plan a party.
I really love the timer element as well, as I've used a potentially competitive solution, Doodle, and find that no one responds to it. So I have to send emails myself. Is there a way that you guys will automatically remind users or prompt them to come back to the
Yeah,
site to
actually.
fill
So
it
in
out?
regards to that, we made the timer functionality because we wanted a way to light a fire under your friends, because I think having a deadline or something set in stone is much more motivating than just some like nebulous timeline in the future. We wanted to incorporate texting and further email implementation so that once your plans are finalized or the timer's done, you get a text saying, hey, plans here at this time, be there, be square. Any more questions? Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the context of that Q&A, this no longer makes any sense, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thanks, plans. We will definitely be using your app to coordinate the demo day after party. And finally, we've got Team Samaritan. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Google and C4Q and everyone for allowing us this very special opportunity. My name is Vanessa Mack, and we are Samaritan. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to my team for introductions.
Hello, my name is Deborah Huang, and I am a consultant at the Department of Homeless Services and a jewelry designer within the Etsy shop. I discovered a passion for technology when I began playing around with HTML and CSS to customize the look of my shop. And I found that I love the way technology can bring together different interests like design and public service, which is how I end up working on this app. And I hope in the future to have a technical position that will have a similar positive impact.
Hi everyone, my name is Giselle Latipova, and I'm an artist and a software developer. And I come from a background of working with art nonprofits and art galleries. My biggest passions are social justice issues and the intersection of art and tech in today's society.
Hi everyone, my name is Jalissa and I'm a full stack web developer. I got into technology by taking HTML and CSS classes at the New York Public Library. Through programming, I want to help families and businesses improve their lives by creating technologies that will improve communication in underserved communities.
I'm Vanessa Mack. I am a full stack web developer and analyst. And prior to my role in fintech, I have spent a lot of time in mission-driven environments. And there is where I learned that I had an aptitude for helping others discover the best version of themselves. And I had a passion for connecting people to causes that they care about through the use of technology. And as you can see, we are a team of diverse backgrounds, deeply rooted in our passions for social impact and technology. Samaritan has a biblical origin strongly associated with altruism and selflessness. And that is the exact message that we wanted to convey with our extension.
Okay, now for a little background. Okay, studies from the Pew Research Center shows that 40% of Americans get their news online. Now, reading the news can leave people feeling pessimistic and powerless. And people do have an innate and altruistic desire to help and take action and contribute to a solution, but they don't know how. And according to the Network for Good's online giving study, donors are more likely to contribute to charities and causes that are effective and convenient to them.
The solution is Samaritan. Samaritan is a Chrome extension that puts together a list of charities when the user is reading the news online. It creates a list of charities based on the news content. In this way, Samaritan empowers the users to take action on a cause that they really care about by supporting the most effective charities in that field.
Cool. So a little bit about how it works. When the user downloads the Samaritan Chrome extension, they will see the extension icon activate anytime they're reading news online. So when they click on the icon, the IBM Watson Natural Language Understanding API will analyze the text of the article and return important keywords, concepts, and categories found in that article. We then take that information and we pass it on to Charity Navigator API, which is a really extensive database of global charities that are also evaluated and ranked. And based on the returned charities that are most relevant to the article, we then filter those by to only return the top most rated charities. So in this way, we render to the user the relevant charities to the content they're reading that are also the most top rated charities. And now we're going to do a quick demo.
Okay, so meet Jane. She is a busy employee and student. She reads the news online daily, but she often feels discouraged and powerless when she's reading these articles. So she downloaded the Samaritan extension. She's reading an article about pollution. She notices that her Samaritan icon is activated, so she clicks on the icon, and there's where she receives a list of charities related to that article. She decides to donate to the first charity. She's directed to the donation page of that charity. There is where she makes her direct contribution. And she's left feeling empowered by her ability to turn her frustration into action.
Great, so we have a lot of ideas as to how to further improve our app. Our main priority is to refine the algorithm that matches the charities to be more exact to the content that the user is reading. We also hope to implement a simplified payment method to further improve user experience. And lastly, we would love to offer to our users other steps they can take other than financial contribution. For example, volunteering to support a cause that they care about, voting in the upcoming elections, or contacting their local representatives. And that's our app. Thank you to everyone for being here. Special thanks to everybody who made this app a reality. We could not have done it without you. And keep an eye out for Samaritan to show up in Chrome Web Store soon. Thank you.
I think this is really awesome. It's super cool. What was the most fun part about working with like the Watson API, or like what was the hardest part? Like what really got you going?
Sure, the hardest part about it was the fact that none of us knew how to build a Chrome extension, so it was pretty much a new technology for us. It used the same technologies, but it wasn't a part of our curriculum, so the technical challenge was just figuring out how to build an extension with the knowledge that we already had.
Yeah, I would say the most fun part was just combining all of our passions and creativity into creating this. Once we all came together, it just grew organically to create this app. As soon as we started throwing ideas around, it just came to be.
Yeah, I don't have a question, but more an observation. There's actually a company in New York that's trying to do this, but they're doing it in like the wrong way because they're trying to get publishers like us to embed something in their pages. So this is super smart, and I think it's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree. Incredible. You guys did an amazing job. And I think there's like a lot of monetization potential here, so I'm happy to talk to you about that after. But what happens if I come to an article that isn't, necessarily about a topic where I would be prompted to donate to a charity if I'm just reading a business article or something like that?
Yeah, one of the solutions we considered for that and actually currently implemented is to just have a default list of top most effective, top most rated charities. Another thing we could potentially do in the future is to curate that list even more specifically to the user based on maybe what they've previously donated to. But yeah, that's a great question.
This is super cool, and this is kind of a related question, but you mentioned trying to potentially improve accuracy and everything. Did you evaluate it at all? How well does it do today?
It works. You know, we have ideas as to how to further improve the matches that we provide to the user. Currently, it's a little bit more general, and it was designed that way specifically. But you know, the Watson API is super extensive. There's so much there to work from, to the point that they even provide like sentiment rating to different like words and keywords. So, I mean, I think we'd all be really excited to continue working on that and to refine that further. Thank you.
Now, thank you for that presentation, Samaritan. That's our last group for the night. Now, join me with thanking all the developers because they did very good, hard work. And now I'm going to welcome GK back to the stage.
Wow, what a kick-ass job that everyone did in presenting their apps tonight. Let's give them another round of applause. Yeah, really want to thank everyone for that. And now I want to invite the panelists on stage, kind of share some of their thoughts on the apps they saw here, and also kind of some personal words of advice. You know, I think it's amazing that we have such a diverse group of panelists as well, whether entrepreneurs, engineers, business development, investors, and I think it really provides a good opportunity to kind of share, you know, your future careers. And you know, tonight really marks not just the end of the capstone project, but really the next start of everyone's kind of job search and moving on into a professional software engineer. So we're really excited. Yeah, please come up. Yeah, we're really excited over the next few months in the program that for our team to work with everyone here, all of our developers, have them continue to build new apps, go through technical interviews, and really embark on that kind of next stage of their career paths. And I know it's been a really intense and challenging experience so far, but that's just the beginning. The next step is also going to be intense and challenging and hopefully exciting and equally rewarding at the end. So want to kind of ask the panelists to share a little bit. And yeah, maybe if we don't mind, Jason, would you mind starting since you're one of the hosts tonight?
Well, that was awesome. So totally inspirational. I've got a tremendous amount of energy out of this. One of my favorite phrases is good things come to those who hustle. And clearly that was shown tonight. So kudos to everyone. I know, you know, talking to students from previous cohorts, this is something that the students do. You know, the days are long, right? Days start at 5 a.m. and may not end until 10 or 12 p.m. So I see a lot of shaking heads. So kudos to you guys. That's awesome. And in terms of hustle, I think, you know, some career stuff. I think it's important to be aggressive without being annoying. I'm going to date myself here, but the first job I found out at school was literally the last piece of paper in the back of a loose leaf. We used to look for jobs in loose leaves, believe it or not, in the career office. So keep pushing, keep hustling. It's important. There have been emails in my life that have literally changed my life. Helped me find some of the most important mentors and career coaches that have helped me find jobs, helped me get through low points, helped me push through to high points. So find your mentors, keep pushing, do that extra email, do that extra phone call, take the extra steps that, you know, a lot of times other people won't. So yeah, that's some of my words of wisdom.
Great, thank you, Jason. Let's give each other a round of applause.
Yeah, just to second that, that was truly inspirational. It was super cool to see all the great ideas that you guys came up with. In terms of career advice, I would just say stay curious. Like, don't stop asking questions. And there's definitely going to be days where you're slamming your head against the desk saying, why won't this work? But just remember that everybody's been there. Your boss, your boss's boss, everybody has been there. So, everybody struggles. And at the end of the day, it's okay to ask for help. I wish that more people had told me that when I was starting out in my career as developer, because you always think everybody else knows the answer, and secretly they don't. So don't ever be afraid to ask for help. That's one of the biggest pieces of advice I could give you.
I think my advice is also partly related to my observation. Like, you guys all worked on stuff that clearly you're super passionate about, and it came through, and you all did just an amazing job. And I think as you're out looking for things to do, like, always work on stuff that you care about. Like, I got that job as a general counsel of Tumblr partly because I was like an obsessive Tumblr user, and it was like a huge part of why I was effective at that job. And so as you guys are going out there and looking for things to do, like, always try to work on something that you care about, something that you love, that you're interested in. It will come through in interviews. It will come through in your work product. It's just like my number one piece of advice to everybody.
So when I started Bonobos, I lived in New York, had about $150,000 of debt and enough money in the bank for monthly rent, and I still went out every night because I had to. And so I know you're at a point where you're probably thinking about how to go earn because you're getting through C4Q, but I want to encourage you that you're now full stack web developers. You're going to be okay in life financially if you're thoughtful. And so you got to go for it. There's so many great ideas here, and I think there's financial risk in not going out and taking that job. And if you go out and get a great job, that's awesome. But if you have a chance to go and build something that you love and it's your passion and your personal mission, there's a risk in not doing that, and that risk is generally not financial, it's spiritual. And so I want to say I'm so inspired by what I saw tonight. I think our world is filled with a lot of male privilege right now, with a lot of white male privilege. To the white men who are up here tonight, we love you. We love you. It's okay. To everyone here, we have a chance to change the world because of what's happening on this stage tonight. So I'd invite you to go do just that.
Just a quick, a quick follow up on that, actually. I'm interested in hearing everyone else's perspective as well. As everyone's going on the job search, doing what you love, there's kind of a wide variety of companies, right? Whether working at large companies like Google or startups. Do you have any advice? You've been an entrepreneur working at large companies and et cetera. How would you, help guide these developers as they're thinking about what's appropriate for them?
I mean,
Do you want me to? Yeah. So I've worked at a number of large companies, Google, Twitter, now Salesforce, but also worked really hard to try to start something myself with some friends. The best job I ever had was that startup. It was also the job where I got to learn the most, challenge myself the most, and be really uncomfortable at times, but probably just learn the most I ever will in my entire career. Take the risk. I could not agree with Andy more. You will never forgive yourself for not taking that risk. My piece of career advice was going to be don't believe the people that tell you can't do something. I was told I would never be an investor. I didn't have the right experience for it. 40 investments later, I think I can firmly say I am an investor. And just don't listen to the people that will say no to you. Don't be discouraged by the people that say no to you, because people will. persist. It took me a long time to get to where I am today, but I knew this is what I wanted to do. I think you all have shown and demonstrated that same passion today, and I just keep going. You guys are on the right path, and you're going to do amazing things.
Great. Meredith, you spoke a little about your experience as an investor. For those that may want to start companies or join a startup, but let's say some of these products, maybe people want to create things either immediately or in the future. What are some of the things you look for in budding entrepreneurs, developers, and any reflections from tonight based off of that?
Yeah, so look, I would say there's always three things I'm looking for from an investor perspective. So I'm going to be a little holistic here. One is the team. So a lot of what I saw tonight was some truly amazing teamwork. Working really hard and effective as part of a team is critical to successfully launching and growing a company. I'm sure even Andy could tell more stories about that, or others up on the stage who have startup experience can attest to that. So you guys have really shown your ability to to like work as part of a team, which is critically important. The second piece I always look for is what's the market, right? What's the opportunity that you're going after? Is this a big opportunity? So I was really encouraged by how ambitious some of your ideas were. I was also really encouraged that there were so many ideas for products to look to better the world, and that is a good market. There is a real opportunity there as well. There's some investors that don't necessarily believe that and boo-hoo that market. But increasingly, people care how their products are made, where things are coming from, about giving money back to nonprofits and causes that they care about. They care where their money is being invested. So there are real market opportunities there as well. And you want to be building for as big a market as possible. And then the last piece is product, which you guys are building. How are you building products that are meeting the needs of those markets, and ultimately that are able to be monetized, because you're also building a business. It's not just cool technology, and I think that's the important thing to remember when you're building a startup as well. So happy to speak to any of you at any point about starting a company and give you advice on the fundraising process as needed.
Yeah.
On the topic of big company, small company, medium-sized company, I think I've worked at enough places now that I've worked at that entire continuum, and I've co-founded a couple of startups as well. And I don't think there's a right answer. In fact, I think the really important thing to think about is what kind of thing do you want to learn, and to find the opportunity that helps you learn that the best. And just to kind of pick two ends on the spectrum, if what you really want is to go to a place to learn about scale and dealing with large numbers of something, whether it's customers or transactions or entries in a database, whatever it might be, that's going to be hard to learn at a really small company, and relatively easy to learn at a place like Google or Microsoft or Amazon or Apple or Facebook or some other big tech company. Whereas if what you want to learn is about wearing multiple hats and doing multiple things and doing whatever it takes to get the job done, that's going to be really hard to learn at one of those companies, and you'll have a much better shot at learning something like that at a small company. And I think my pro tip for having a good career is that that question about what you want to learn is maybe the most important one to ask yourself at every step of your career. It's just really easy to find yourself in a job where you're doing something and you're enjoying things day to day, and you kind of look back at the end of a week or maybe a month, hopefully never a year, and realize that you're kind of in a rut. And what you need to do to break out of that rut is to always be learning. And I think the more you can take a really systematic approach to that, rather than just learning the thing that's in front of you, or being delighted when you learn something on a particular day because an unforeseen problem came along, if you can actually kind of structure things and ask yourself, well, what is the next thing that I want to learn, and try and navigate your career, whether it's at the company you're at, or by going to a different place, or by having a hobby project, or working on an open source project. I think that's the thing that will probably give you the most delight throughout your career and help you just optimize around, having a lot of impact and being ready for the next thing. Because, this was the web demo day, and, this kind of day could have happened in, 1999. It would have been a little bit different, but basically it could have happened. But the Android and iOS demo days that are also this week, I gather, couldn't have happened in 1999. Mobile came along, and people all of a sudden had to be ready to do new things. And those new platforms presented new opportunities. The people who were willing to learn them had a great chance to, learn something and contribute quickly. And the people who learned most effectively were the ones who spent lots and lots of time in their career and in their spare time learning and, navigating that path. So I would just say, always be learning, but don't be casual about your learning. Be really structured and systematic about it if you can.
Great, awesome. Thank you, Jeff. And let's give all our panelists a round of applause. And thank our panelists as they exit the stage and head back to their seats. So the evening is almost over. But, I just want to take a moment. We've been talking about, you've seen all the fellows, all the developers of this cohort, and just, remind everyone what tonight signifies. It's more than the culmination of just these projects and demos, and more than the showcase of talent. It's really the beginning of a pathway to a new career, and I think a more fruitful tech community here in New York. And I really believe that each one of them, our fellows, really represents the best of New York City and the future of the tech community here. So let's give them one more round of applause for getting the courage to be on stage and sharing so much of themselves as well. And, this wouldn't be possible. So many people are here that support the fellows, whether their friends and family that are here. You saw some of the mentors and volunteers or sponsors. If you're interested in being involved in any way, please talk to one of the staff here in one of the C4Q t-shirts. Obviously, we have a lot of developers that are going to be graduating soon. Some talented folks. If you're looking to hire, come talk to us. We would love to get folks into your companies. And I really want to thank all the audience members as well for you all being here tonight. We have this concept at C4Q of one big team. Everyone's involved, whether our staff, our fellows are part of this mission, our funders, but you all here being here tonight as part of this celebration of their achievement is incredibly important. So thank you all for being here tonight. And last, want to really thank the staff. This wouldn't really be possible, obviously, without everyone that put in so much of their heart and soul into making sure all the months leading up to this point was possible, and this event tonight was possible. We have some great instructors, including Reed and Michael. Let's give it up to you instructors, and Lev, and many other instructors that have been here. To Priya, our nights and weekends program manager for this cohort. There she is. Writing all the puns, but we talk about coding, but it's so much else, right? You see just what everyone's able to produce, and that is really the hard work of the program managers and the staff that help create all these things that are happening. So thank you, Priya, for making sure tonight is possible. And also the larger team, really want to thank our development team who work with Google and everyone else to secure that we had the venue here tonight, and such amazing industry partners, Jesse and Jessica, and Chris, new to the team, and many others. Thank you to them as well, our development team. And last, I want to thank Ellie, our community manager, who I think is right over there. Many of you saw her, or hopefully all of you saw her check in, but she, represents our community, works with our alumni. If you're interested in volunteering, she's the person to talk to and getting involved. So thank you, Ellie, for making tonight possible as well. And so that is it. Thanks again to Google. Thank you all here for attending. And I want to invite everyone afterwards to meet all the fellows and developers, check out their apps. There's going to be a reception in the back with more food and drink. And enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you so much.